If you have something to say to me, say it. Otherwise, I'm hanging up.
Oh, no, don't hang up now, pal. I'm running low on dimes, and I just have to come up there, that's all, and I don't want to do that, not yet.
Elliott Gould was one of the finest actors to emerge during the new Hollywood era. With his versatile acting range, glowing charm, and sardonic wit, Gould presented a certain swagger that can never be replicated. While his prolific career spanned over 6 decades working in movies, television, and theater, this list focuses on 5 of my favorite film performances of his. And in an effort to not have the list just be all of his Robert Altman films, I think I'm going to reserve MASH for a future Donald Sutherland video. So please, hang on to those death threats for another day. And number 5 from 1974 is Busting, directed by Peter Hyams and starring Robert Blake and Alan Garfield. Busting follows Vice detectives Keneally and Farrell, who prowl the seedy underbelly of Los Angeles, determined to take down a powerful crime boss. However, as their case evolves, they find themselves blocked at every turn, not by the criminals, but by the very system they work for. The movie is one of the earliest examples of the buddy cop film, and was a direct inspiration for the television series Starsky and Hutch. While it may not be as over-the-top or comedic as some of its 1980s counterparts, Busting helped influence the blueprint for this genre. Elliott Gould is so fun to watch in this, and it's not just because of that awesome mustache. Okay, maybe it is. No, what makes him stand out in this film is the way he plays against the type for a 70s cop drama. He's not a brute, nor is he a cowboy. He's cerebral, sarcastic, and at the end of the day, he's just a normal guy trying to do his job and put bad guys in jail. Perhaps using some unconventional means, but nevertheless. Peter Hyams' direction is marvelous. The swift camera movement brings a distinct vitality to the picture, and there are some really great action sequences, including a shootout/chase scene through a crowded marketplace. The film truly does an excellent job of immersing you in the sleazy atmosphere of 1970s LA. And I'm not sure how some people will react to the end of the film, but I quite like the ending and Gould's voiceover that accompanies the credits. While Busting never achieved widespread acclaim, it is a solid street-level thriller that not only features rich dialogue and fun action scenes, but a classic Elliott Gould performance. Next from 1971 is Little Murders, directed by Alan Arkin and starring Marcia Rod and Vincent Gardenia. Adapted from the off-Broadway play by Jules Feiffer, Little Murders is a black comedy set in a New York City that is rampant with street crime, urban decay, strange phone calls, and random acts of brutal violence. Gould plays Alfred Chamberlain, an emotionally withdrawn photographer who has become completely numb to the barbarity around him. However, when he meets a fiercely idealistic woman named Patsy, she strives to help make Alfred learn to fight back and feel again. This is one of Elliott Gould's most challenging roles. He plays Alfred as a man who has retreated entirely from the world, showing zero emotional response to the torture he constantly endures.
Are you a man or I don't know what you are?
You shouldn't have done that. They were getting tired. You got them mad. You shouldn't have.
His vacant, introverted demeanor wonderfully contrasts the chaotic world he must navigate. But beneath Alfred's detachment lays a deeper sadness. Gould doesn't play Alfred as simply apathetic. He's deeply scarred or traumatized even, and his refusal to connect with people feels like a form of self-preservation. Marcia Todd is magnificent as Patsy. Her brightness and charm allows for the perfect dynamic with the basically inanimate Alfred.
Talk to me, sing, do something.
And I have to note the must-see cameo from Donald Sutherland as the Reverend.
Last year, I married a musician who wanted to get married in order to stop masturbating. Please don't be startled. I'm not putting him down.
Overall, Little Murders is simultaneously one of the funniest and bleakest films you will ever watch. And it is a prime example of Elliott Gould's prowess as an actor. And number 3 is Robert Altman's 1974 comedy drama California Split. Elliott Gould and George Segal star as 2 men brought together by their shared obsession with the thrill and excitement of gambling. Gould plays Charlie Waters, a carefree, fast-talking gambler who pulls Segal's more cautious Bill Denny into a whirlwind of poker rooms, racetracks, and casinos. The film is a wonderful portrait of not only the world of gambling, but of 2 friends who gradually lose themselves in pursuit of an insatiable high. Gould is at his most charismatic here. He completely embodies the character and delivers a performance that's as rich in spontaneity as it is grounded in real life.
Who's down there?
A lot of the dialogue was actually improvised, and Altman's signature use of overlapping conversations and freeform storytelling give the film an almost documentary-like realism. You really do feel like you're right there with them, riding all their highs and their lows. The relationship between Gould and Siegel is the heart and drive of the film, and it is almost impossible to not have a smile painted on your face during their scenes together.
Don't distract him, lady. Just stay right on the table, will you? 11. 4 11s in a row. Man, just roll 4 11s in a row.
The final sequence of them gambling in Reno is a highlight of the movie, and coupled with the amazing ending, it makes California Split not only one of Robert Altman's best films, but an essential work in Elliott Gould's filmography. At number 2 from 1978 is The Silent Partner, directed by Daryl Duke and starring Christopher Plummer and Susanna York. The story follows Miles Cullen, a quiet, mild-mannered bank teller who uncovers a plot to rob his branch and decides to turn the situation to his advantage. Rather than stopping the robbery, he hides a large portion of cash and allows the heist to proceed, making it appear the thief took more than he actually did. Miles keeps the money for himself, but a very dangerous game of cat and mouse ensues when the thief returns to collect his pay. I absolutely love this film, and it is heightened so much by Gould's exceptional performance. In a somewhat similar way to Walter White in Breaking Bad, Miles begins the film as your average Joe following a mundane daily routine, but after he steals the money, he starts to become a more daring, ambitious man.
What are you thinking?
How much I would like to make love with you.
Oh.
It is this moral ambiguity that makes Miles such a compelling protagonist. But what makes this movie even stronger is its chilling antagonist. Christopher Plummer is outright astonishing as the insane criminal Harry Reichel. I am not joking when I say it just may be one of the all-time best villains ever put to screen. I don't want to get into any graphic details, but let's just say you don't want this Santa coming down your chimney.
I'm not going to break the door down. I'm just going to give you a little time to try to be reasonable. If you decide you're not going to be reasonable, then one night when you come home, you'll find me on the inside. And that'll be the night you'll wish you'd never been born.
Daryl Duke's direction is exemplary, creating an environment of utter suspense, tension, and dread. The film was shot on location in Toronto, and the script was penned by Curtis Hanson, who would later go on to direct the great neo-noir LA Confidential. Not only that, but the incredible score was composed by the genius musician Oscar Peterson. I really cannot recommend The Silent Partner enough. The dynamic between Gould and Plummer is electric, and you will no doubt be glued to your seat the entire film. And at number 1 is The Long Goodbye, directed by Robert Altman and starring Nina Van Pallant and Sterling Hayden. The Long Goodbye follows private detective Philip Marlowe, who, after agreeing to help his friend Terry leave town, finds himself accused of Terry's wife's murder the very next day. As Marlowe begins to investigate the crime, he is also hired by Eileen Wade to locate her alcoholic husband, Roger. What begins as 2 separate cases soon weaves into a complex mystery, drawing Marlowe into a dangerous world of secrets and lies. This film is Robert Altman's revisionist take on the Raymond Chandler detective story, and Gould's portrayal of Philip Marlowe is a different style of character than the Marlowe of Bogart and Mitchum. Gould's version is offbeat, introspective, and exhibits a bemused indifference to the rapidly changing world around him.
Oh yeah? You don't happen to have a cat by any chance?
What do I need a cat for? I got a girl.
Ha.
And who can forget the great Sterling Hayden, who steals every scene he's in?
Should we drink to your wife?
I say we drink to all of us, huh?
Robert Altman's camera is almost always in motion, giving the film a dreamlike quality, and I have to note the jazzy score composed by the legendary John Williams. The Long Goodbye was not an immediate hit upon release, but has since been recognized as a seminal work of 1970s American cinema. It deconstructs the noir genre while also paying tribute to it, and Gould's portrayal of Marlowe stands as one of the most original and enduring interpretations of the character ever put to screen. Whether you're a longtime fan or new to his work, these 5 films are an excellent gateway into Gould's filmography, and collectively, these movies represent some of the boldest, most artistically ambitious filmmaking of their time. In 1970, he appeared on a Time magazine cover with the headline, "Star for an Uptight Age." Well, no matter the age or era, Elliott Gould's tremendous body of work will forever inspire actors and filmmakers and delight audiences. Thanks for watching.